Hello everyone, welcome to English Tutorials by Poonam Thakur. In this video, I'm going to discuss mind map of the chapter number 3, De Water by William Douglas from class 12th English textbook Flamingo in detail. Before the explanation of the mind map, let me tell you why it is important. Mind map is a tool to concise the information in a graphic form. It will help you to remember the main points, the important points of the story in a better way. So it's just like making notes where we cover the main points of the text. I hope you have understood the importance of mind map. Let's ponder on the main points of the story, De Water by William Douglas. Let me explain the important points of the story now. The story De Water is an excerpt taken from Of Men and Mountains by William Douglas, published in 1950. The story describes how, as a young boy, the narrator was nearly drowned in a swimming pool. It is an autobiographical account of a childhood misadventure which left permanent impression on narrator's mind. Now, if I ask you what is autobiographical account, so it's an account of a person's life written by the person. Here, De Water is an autobiographical account and it's narrated by William Douglas. So, William Douglas is narrating his own childhood misadventure and how it affected him. So, another important aspect is theme. So, what is the theme of the story? In this essay, William O. Douglas talks about his fear of water and how he finally overcomes it by his courage, determination, hard work, strong willpower, perseverance, and the desire to learn. He says if all these are practiced, we can definitely achieve success in all our endeavors. William had developed an aversion to the water when he was 3 or 4 years old. His father had taken him to the beach in California. The waves knocked him down and swept over him. He was buried under water and his breath was gone. He was terrorized, he was petrified, and this developed an aversion to water at a very young age. When narrator was 10 or 11 years old, he decided to learn to swim. There was a pool at YMCA and it offered him a good opportunity to learn swimming, as swimming in the Yakima River was quite dangerous and his mother had warned against it. The YMCA pool was safe for swimming. But sight of water petrified him. It frightened him and revived old fears. So finally, William joined YMCA swimming pool and was getting comfortable. He was just beginning to feel at ease in the water when the misadventure happened, which further increased his terror. He was pushed into the pool by 18 years old boy and he experienced death very closely. When he was thrown into the water, he tried everything possible to save himself, but in vain. He grew panicky. He was screaming in the water. He swallowed water and choked himself. He tried to pull his legs up, but they were heavy and lifeless. Only his heartbeat and the beating in his head indicated that he was alive. So after this terrifying incident at a YMCA swimming pool, for days he was constantly haunted by the fear. He never went back to the pool and feared water and avoided it whenever he could. Whenever he went near water, the terror would seize him. His legs got paralyzed. Icy horror would grab his heart. The fear stayed with him as the years rolled by. Many years after the incident, he stayed away from water, but the desire to go fishing and swimming in nature was strong enough to motivate William to overcome his fear. So finally, he decided to hire an instructor who ensured that William knew swimming well enough to be able to swim in huge lakes and waterfalls. The instructor made William practice religiously for months. He repeated the exercises hundreds of times, and finally, William could command his body. At last, the instructor made him a real swimmer. Although instructor declared that now William is fully trained to swim on his own, but he was not sure. Still, when he would swim, the fear from his childhood experiences would grip him over and over again. And we all know that he wanted to overcome that fear. So he decided to challenge himself and he went to Lake Wentworth and dived off a dock at Triggs Island. He swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. His fear fled and he swam on. So, this experience was very valuable for him. He had experienced both the feelings, the sensation of dying and the terror that fear can produce. So, William realized that death is peaceful and it is the fear of death that is terrorizing. He overcame it and finally he was a winner. Dear students, let's ponder on very important quote used by William Douglas in his story De Water. All we have to fear is fear itself. It is a part of a sentence spoken by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933 in his inaugural address, an attempt to calm the US people. He said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself," meaning that we don't need to be afraid of anything other than being afraid. If everyone will remain calm, the troubles can be sorted out and addressed. But if people panic, things will only get worse. And this is what William followed in his life. William realized that death is peaceful, and it is the fear of death that is terrorizing. His will to live life grew intensely as he had overcome his fear by his hard work, willpower, and determination. After conquering his phobia, he started enjoying his life and living fearlessly. Students, I hope you have understood the story thoroughly. You can subscribe to my channel for more videos on chapter number 3, The Water by William Douglas, where I have covered significance of the title, theme, sub-theme, summary, and important questions also. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe English Tutorials by Poonam Thakur.